in this video. Hello everybody, and hopefully you're all in a good mood. For those tuning in, you're watching Garage 54 Detail. So we're filming this right before New Year, and what do we love receiving during the holidays? Gifts, of course. And this video is going to be all about them. So a few hours ago, a client stopped on by our detailing studio who wants to make his car perfect. He bought the car in Moscow as a New Year's present for his dad. That's pretty rad, isn't it? So I made my way over to have a chat with him. The guy's name is Vladimir. He was like, yeah, I bought the car, which admittedly wasn't in tip-top shape. He was successfully able to restore it. As for his dad, he's been driving a lot for his entire life, so he's never had a nice car. So that's just such a fantastic gift. I'd also be gleeful and have no trouble admitting what a nice present that is. And our job now is to make it perfect. Now, Vladimir drove the car all the way from Moscow to Novosibirsk, covering over 4,000 kilometers. And his main complaint was about the sound insulation. I own a Mitsubishi myself, so I'm very well aware of how bad they are in that respect. The situation was just terrible before I put in some extra sound deadening. Anyway, we've decided to insulate the floor of this car, and it's all on the house. We've already brought the car over to our facility, so we're ready to get to work straight away. Before we begin removing the bulk of the dirt from the body panels, we'll let the snow and the ice melt off first, otherwise the scattering tiny rocks might damage the paint. Let's remove the big chunks of ice and pour some running water over the entire car, so that we can do an inspection. We're ready to continue. Let's apply some stage 1 compound, working our way up in order for it to work at the bottom for longer. We let it sit for 3 to 4 minutes and clean it off with a pressure washer. The wheel arches need a good clean, to avoid spreading dirt all over the garage. Some of you wanted to see how we clean the underbody. We never showed that process in detail, but we decided why not showcase it this time. Given Given that we'll be applying a protective compound once we're done, that's enough washing for the time being. Now we relocate the car to the deep dry cleaning area. Now we begin totally dismantling the cabin and cargo area. We throw out all of the trash, remove the seats, plastic bits, cargo bay trim, and the carpeting. And we are left with a barren shell, without even a hint of sound deadening. Our job is to rectify the situation any way we can. First, we carefully vacuum the entire metal surface, then we degrease the spots where we'll be placing our sound deadening mats. This is where we begin applying the first vibration dampening layer. It's meant to suppress any vibration coming in from the road and the gearbox. We will be covering the entire floor except for the internal rocker panel and traverse floor reinforcement sections. Let's not forget to iron out the entire mat using a special roller to eliminate any air bubbles where condensation might accumulate. And though the package says that this material doesn't require heating, I still prefer to put a bit in with a heat gun. That makes this material more malleable and easier to work with. We need to cover as much of the floor's surface as we can, as well as the wheel arches and cargo bay. The second layer is the sound deadening itself. We're using a dual component material, which combines layers 2 and 3 into a single one. We do our best to cover the entire floor. And with that, we've covered the floor with sound deadening, and the results are pretty decent. I should mention that we had a limited supply of material, but then again, given how tinny Mitsubishis are in stock form, this should still make for a noticeable difference. We'll most definitely ask the owner whether he felt it. I should say that this isn't the best option out there in terms of sound deadening, but it should give us something. And I really do think that this gift is going to leave a good impression on the owner about our studio. Now it's time to do some deep cleaning. Now it's time to give the cabin a deep clean. We begin with the headliner, which shouldn't give us too much trouble. We whip out the tornator, the wet cleaning vacuum, and do the entire thing. Moving down lower to the plastic pillar trim, which we'll thoroughly clean with a universal interior cleaning agent and a brush. We'll rinse out the compound using a water-filled tornator. And let's not forget to do all of the seat belts. After cleaning the plastic bits we left inside, we move on to the plastic bits we removed. No rocket science here. We just apply the compound and manually clean each panel with a soft brush. Then we wash the compound off with a tornator. We use a paintbrush for the seams and tight spots. We should have zero trouble washing the cargo bay floorboards. We just take our tornator, knock out the sand, and then we apply a fabric cleaner, which we'll rinse out together with any dirt using the tornator. To fully extract the cleaner, we'll need a wet cleaning vacuum. And let's not forget to clean the other side. The universal cabin cleaner can be used for washing the door cards. We apply it, do some scrubbing, and rinse with the Tornator in wet mode. Now we do the same thing with the dashboard and the gauge cluster. It's important to remember that washing the compound off with water can damage the buttons and other electronic components, so you're better off using a damp microfiber towel. Now let's clean the leather seats. We'll need a leather cleaning solution, a special soft brush for leather upholstery, some microfiber, and a Tornator filled with water. We'll start by knocking out the sand and dirt from the seams. Now we apply the cleaning agent and begin scrubbing. After we finish scrubbing, the compound has to be removed. We do that by spraying water from the Tornator. Then we use some microfiber to wipe it dry. After wiping everything down, we rub in some conditioning cream to make the leather good as new. We repeat the process on all of the seats, while not forgetting that these seats can be folded. Now those are spots where plenty of dirt accumulates. Now we get to the most difficult part, which is cleaning the carpet. Knocking out and collecting the sand might be a bit tricky. We take our tornadoer, turn on the water flow, and begin to beat out the sand. Since there's plenty of it, we need to go about this pretty meticulously. Okay, so we're done with that stage. Now we apply the cleaning agent and whip out our rotary brush, which is a must when working with these sorts of stains. We start with the dirtiest area, which is the driver's portion. We scrub, and then suck out the compound and sand with a wet cleaning vacuum. We use this method for the entire carpet until we get the result we desire. The deep cleaning is complete. Now we reassemble the cabin and return to cleaning the body and preparing it for some hard wax. We begin with a second round of the first stage compound, which we let sit and then wash off. We do that to remove the dust that accumulated during previous stages. After that stage, we wash off any bitumen and metal particulates from the entire body. There's a ton of bitumen buildup on the inside and outside of the wheels, which is something that required special attention. We apply some first stage compound after every agent in order to wash it off. We've cleaned the bodywork. Now we go ahead and apply some shampoo and begin working with a sponge and a paintbrush. Now let's wash the compound off with some water. You'd say the shell is clean, but I'd tell you that it's not. Prior to applying hard wax, we need to rub the panels with some cleaner clay, which you can buy at a specialized shop. Its purpose is to collect any residual dirt and particulates, which there will still be even after such a thorough clean. So we're finished washing the exterior. Time to dry it out and bring it back into the dry cleaning area. Prior to waxing, we need to degrease all of the panels. Now we apply the hard wax in a circular motion. After doing half of the body, we take a fresh microfiber towel to polish out the compound. We do that at the halfway mark as not to let it dry out. We do the entire body, inspect it once again, and see a fine result. The car is shiny with a very rich color to it. This sort of protective coating lasts for 2 to 3 months, in our conditions anyway. Before exiting the shed and driving outside, we finish the job by giving the interior a fresh scent, making the air as clean and neutral as possible with the use of an ozone generator. We plug the machine into a power source and let it sit there for 10 to 15 minutes. And with that, we've finally completed yet another car. This is one great-looking Mitsubishi Outlander, with its rich and shiny color. We've removed any bitumen and metal particulates from the body, applied some hard wax, and covered the floor with some complimentary sound deadening, as a gift for Vladimir and his father. So this New Year's gift is ready for us to return it to its owner. Alright, I'm out of here. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, leave some comments, and see you later!